Hey guys, what's up? Tax here. Today we are here with the penultimate round of our F1 YouTuber career mode series. Today we're in Brazil, driven by FisiFan91. Of course, I'll leave a link to his channel down below so you can go and check out his channel. And here we are, as I said, the penultimate round of the season. Well, we've got a bit of a gap to the cars in front of us in this championship now. You can see a 45% chance of rain here in Brazil. And when I first saw that, I was like, oh my goodness, this is going to be a crazy Brazilian Grand Prix here. You can see just quickly going through the setup here. And Fizzy decided to start in 22nd place here to add that extra bit of challenge. And here we are, going to the grid. Second to last race of the season. And oh my goodness, that 45% chance of rain is just like thrown everything up in the air here today. And it could actually decide the championship. Obviously, double points in Brazil will help us whatever happens here today. We can't win the championship here today, but I think if we retire and Hamilton wins, and so does Rosberg retire, I think Hamilton might actually be able to win the championship. But let's just keep our fingers crossed that we don't retire. Anyway, the lights are coming on, and the lights are out, and away we go for this Brazilian Grand Prix. As I said, the penultimate race of the season, so we need to make sure everything goes right here today. Heading down to turn 1, looking between a couple of cars. They're getting past some of the back markers. And now past both of the Saubers, hopefully here. Suttel round our outside here shouldn't pose much of a threat. Maldonado's getting quite sideways over the curb here. We're running 3 wide here. Suttel's pushing his way through the middle of us here. And now we're going 3 wide with another Lotus of Grosjean. So we're going to get past both of them into the braking zone, hopefully. But then there's a random Kvyat appeared right in the middle of the track. Managed to get past him luckily and up into 13th place. Now Perez, Button, Magnussen all squabbling over position, and Magnussen's actually in the last points position at the moment, so hopefully get past him around the outside. Not really going to work out there, but maybe down the inside. No, not quite there either. But Vern hasn't scored a single point this season. He's actually in 9th place now, so that'd be his first points if he can finish there. But I'm hoping, obviously, that Fizzy can get past him, and I'd assume Magnussen could get past Vern, but who knows. This career mode has been pretty crazy, and it's going down to the wire, as you'd hope if you're supporting the F1 YouTubers. I suppose that is, if you're supporting Hamilton in this series, you're hoping that we retire and he goes on to win this race. But right behind Magnussen here, but get a little bit sideways over the curbs there and building up speed once again. We should actually be able to get past Magnussen down the straight here, because we do have the slipstream. I'm assuming a better setup than Magnussen as well. So in a straight line, you can see we're quite a lot faster. Head down to turn 1, but down the inside of Magnussen and moving up the position there. And Vern, what's he doing? He's sort of in the middle of the track here, and hopefully he's not going to cause carnage here, because he hasn't scored a single point, so he's not in a battle with anyone really in this championship fight. But we should be able to get past him, as I said earlier on, with Magnussen. We're faster in a straight line than him, so we should go around the outside of him without any trouble really. And it's exactly what happens, and I think that's actually our teammate Massa now in front of us in 8th place. So what's weird to me really over this whole series that Massa hasn't got that many points. Like, I know he had quite a lot of mistakes in real life, but he's sort of programmed to be quite slow in a way. But I guess that's just how it is. You've got a program to be like where they finish in the championship, not how they are in certain race weekends. Obviously Massa's sometimes great, sometimes not very good at all. So I suppose that's partly down to his driving style, which is quite aggressive, but I think that's why we all love Massa, because he's just got a great sort of driving style. He's aggressive, he likes going for moves, and I think that's why we all like Massa in a way. But anyway, I should stop rambling on about Massa and focus on trying to get past him here, because we've had a good lap here. We've gained a couple of positions. Vern still got himself inside the points, so I suppose that's alright for him. But right up in now, the slipstream on Massa. Obviously, we both have the same car here, but we do have a better setup, so we should have it sort of edge on him down the straight, and we do. We're past him as we cross the start-finish line. There you can see 300ths of a second in front of him at the start-finish line, so that's good. But now, what's Raikkonen doing? I don't know what he's doing. He's sort of just sitting in the middle of the corner. They're going quite slowly, and Hulkenberg's like, what on earth do I do here? So we're sort of like in a traffic jam behind them here, as they're not too sure what they're doing. But anyway, we're in the DRS zone. We should be able to get past one of them, but Hulkenberg done around the outside of Raikkonen, and Fizzy's going to do the same thing around the outside there of Raikkonen. And he's lost, I think, no, he has. For a second there, it looked like Massa had got past him as well, but Raikkonen keeps his 8th place, but loses 2 positions in one corner, which is not good for him whatsoever, and he's already losing time as he's squabbling away with our teammate Massa. So all bit of sideways there from Fizzy as we're trying to put the pressure on Hulkenberg and maybe get past him, but at this current time we've got to sort of get back about a second or so gap there is between us and Hulkenberg here. And at the moment it's looking like we'll probably help, you know, with the DRS once again. Whether we can get in that DRS zone, we'll see in a second what the time is through there. 0.8 of a second, so we should, if everything goes right around here, yeah, it looks like everything's all gone alright. So we should be in the DRS zone here. It's going to be quite close though, because Hulkenberg did have a good exit out of that sort of last major stopping point. So yeah, it's going to be pretty tough to maybe get past Hulkenberg down this straight, but he's quite slow, isn't he, down the end of the straight here, but we don't quite manage to get around the outside of him there. We do a 1 minute 15.483 stuck up behind Hulkenberg here, so that's still a good lap time there, considering we did have to overtake a good couple of people on that lap. But this is probably the DRS zone where you can really, you know, get past someone pretty easily. So we should go one way, then the next. Oh, we physically decides to go for the harder option around the inside. But managed to make it stick and gets himself up into P6 now. And I'd say about a good 4, maybe 5 seconds to Vettel, the car in front of us here. And that will put us into the top 5. But if we skip ahead to lap number 8 here, you can see we have closed that gap down. But unfortunately for us, it's actually our pit stop lap. We will probably actually have DRS for a split second actually before we go into the pit lane. I'm not too sure whether Fizzy's going to activate it. We have it. He does decide to activate it and then realise, oh no, am I going too fast to go in the pit lane, or could he make it? I'm not too sure. What I'm thinking, watching this back, is that maybe Fizzy decided to go for an extra lap because he realised his tyres were still good. He realised that lots of cars were pitting, so maybe it was best to go around for an extra lap here and possibly get a better advantage out of it this way. I'm not too sure. That's what I'm thinking, but if you look at the mini-map here, you can see that the cars in front of us, Rosberg, and I'm not too sure who's leading. I'm actually guessing it's Hamilton, but Hamilton is so far out in front of it. Is him. He's just so far out in front of him. I mean, Rosberg's sort of in sight 3.2 seconds, but Hamilton must be a good 5 or 6 seconds ahead of Rosberg here. So crazy, crazy stuff there in terms of the Mercedes pace in this race. And obviously in real life, we remember back to a good battle between Hamilton and Rosberg, with Hamilton spinning and everything. So obviously we'd hope that Hamilton would spin in this race to help us in the championship a bit, but let's be honest, it's probably not going to happen. But we've got a good lap here. We're going to see the sector split here. We've closed the gap down to Rosberg by a good couple of tenths of a second there. You can see 2 tenths up on our pace lap, which was our last time obviously round. So that's 2 or 3 tenths gained on Rosberg, and I'm assuming more on Raikkonen. I'm really focusing on what happened to him. But going to the pit lane here, who's actually leading? I don't even know. Maybe it's not Hamilton. So you'd assume that Mercedes wouldn't stop both their cars on the same lap. And I don't think it is Hamilton. I'm not even sure. It's Ricciardo. Ricciardo's got a huge lead in this race now. What's he doing? Like, how's he doing so well? I don't know, but Ricciardo's having a good race, which I suppose is good to see. It's not Mercedes dominating. When I first sort of saw that, I thought, surely it's got to be Mercedes. There's no way that it's any other car, because nobody was that close to them in real life. But really good to see there that Ricciardo's actually leading, because it actually puts us in a good opportunity to maybe challenge for a good result here today and not worry about winning or not, because if Ricciardo wins, then it doesn't really matter too much to us, because he's not really in the championship battle, is he? I mean, I don't know whether he can I don't think he can even mathematically win this championship, so really it's good for us if he wins this race. And anyway, next person to overtake, Alonso. We're going down the inside of him here. It's very, very close stuff, but Fizzy managed to get past him. But then Alonso attacked back there for a second, but we do manage to get round the outside and move up into 4th place now, chasing down the Rosberg, who obviously are in a championship battle with here. But is that a bit of rain? Am I seeing a bit of rain? Yes, I am, as we skip ahead to lap number 15. Rosberg has got ahead of Hamilton as well, so that's good for the championship considering Hamilton's in front. So we're hoping now to get past Hamilton and maybe move up into 3rd place and onto the podium. That would be at least the aim. But you can see the rain is coming down. It's making it a lot harder to actually put the grip onto the tarmac and get out the corners. So even though we're up on our pace laps here, I'm sure Fizzy's actually struggling every single corner here with the rain coming down. Obviously it needs to be pretty much torrential rain to switch over to the intermediate tyres in this game. So at the moment it looks like we're just going to be staying on these tyres at the end of the race, but who knows, something could be like thrown up in the last lap or two. We could see like torrential rain and have to come into the pits for even more tyres, maybe the intermediates, maybe the full wets, I'm not too sure. But Fizzy's struggling through the first couple of turns there. Obviously need to get the grip onto the tarmac, and it's really hard with obviously the harder compound tyres on the worn down tyres and then the wet conditions. It's all just going against Fizzy right now as he's trying to close down the gap to Hamilton. I'm not too sure where where Ricciardo is, but it looks like there's a lapped car in front of us here. who's sort of getting in the way here. He's got in front of Hamilton. I'm not too sure who it is, but looks like we've got to move around the outside of Hamilton here. We're going to go side by side. It's Ericsson who's sort of holding us up here, and we're going around the outside of Hamilton there, and that should probably be a penalty there for Marcus Ericsson. We'll see what happens in the race results at the end there, but that should be a penalty for Ericsson for holding up Hamilton and technically giving us a position here, because we shouldn't really have had that position, at least that part of the track. I think you and Fizzy would agree. We probably shouldn't have got that part, you know, the overtake done at that part of the track, maybe in the DRS zone at the end of the lap, but Ericsson really did help us there at the end of that. So, you know, okay, it might have been a penalty, but thank you, Ericsson, for helping us there. That's a very key move. You know, we're ahead of Hamilton now. I mean, it doesn't matter as much that we overtake Rosberg. Obviously, we'd like to overtake him, but what I'm trying to say is it doesn't matter as much because he's not currently leading the championship. Now, final couple of turns here. Sort of final major accelerating point here into the rich fuel mixture to try and defend from Hamilton, who will have DRS up to the start finish line here. We're going to see in the mirrors, and also looking behind, Hamilton's got a good advantage here. His DRS is open. Is he going to get us to the line? I don't think so, but it's extremely close. I think, yeah, Hamilton has finished in 4th place, and we managed to pick up 3rd place there. Extremely important for this championship here. You may be thinking, well, surely you'd have wanted at least 2nd there, you know, ahead of Rosberg, but really, Hamilton was the one we definitely needed to beat there. If we didn't beat Hamilton in that race, you could say the championship was over. But luckily for us, we got ahead of Hamilton with that mistake from Ericsson and everything. And we managed to get 3rd place and 15 points, whilst Hamilton is down there on 12 points now, which is extremely important, as I said. Vettel finished in 5th place and Alonso in 6th. I'm reading down, but I should be sort of really congratulating Ricciardo on his win, really. That's the most impressive thing there. He didn't exactly have the most amazing lap time there, Ricciardo, but he brought home a great result, and that's how the championship looks after this. And you can see we have closed the gap to Rosberg to 8 points and the gap to Hamilton to 17 points. So this last round in Abu Dhabi with double points is going to be extremely, extremely important. I mean, we pretty much have to win this next race in Abu Dhabi. I'm going to go through all of the situations that could happen in the next video, the start of the next video. So, for example, if we won, where would Hamilton have to finish and everything like that. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Thank you again, Fizzy, for recording and uploading and sending me all the footage and everything. I appreciate that a lot. Of course, his channel link's down below. And anyway, until next time, it's been AlexZAfRo here. Goodbye.